Okay, Dreamer, please.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. We are gonna check out Elf in this video. This was one of the most painful videos to record. You will understand why later. Okay, so we're gonna look at his equipment for now. He is actually used firstly on the Universal team. That's my first trial, so that's why I gave him double speed. He's actually the only Universal hero to have 33 base speed, making him the first Universal hero in the game to have that, and double HP as well on his armor. For his accessory, I've actually given him Willful Ring with Height and Purification, but as you can see here, I decided last minute before the showcase to change it to a Guardian Ring because I didn't want him to die too quickly. In fact, I also have tried him with a different type of accessory, and that is Taunt, okay, because I want him to charge his Awaken Gauge a lot faster. For the jewels, I've given him increased skill use chance, Lifesteal and survive on 1 HP, and also increase Awakening Gauge with the speed attack because he is the attack leader after all. And skill use chance mainly because I do want him to use skills, otherwise we can't see anything. Yeah, in this case I did try the taunt. Okay, I did try the taunt. You might be thinking, why taunt on a level 40, but I really just want to test it out because I've actually managed to get his awaken skill on the first turn, okay, if the enemy goes first. And by using the awaken skill very early on, you actually reduce 4 turns of buff block. So in case you do not have a hero that has cleanse, he can actually double up as that. But the problem is, as you can see here, is that he cannot cleanse Agnes Flame, which is very sad. Okay, so that's the most unfortunate part. And you see that he actually used his top skill. So his top skill is the one that can deal more damage to magic type enemies and also decreases enemy physical attack and magic attack. I don't think that is a huge thing because honestly, even with the reduction, they cleanse it very early, like in this case. So I don't get to see the effects of the reduction in magic attack, and he's dead. He's dead in 1 minute. Okay, but thanks to Dylan's and Agnes Flame, of course. So that's the most unfortunate thing. What I do want to say is that his bottom skill, okay, the one that actually does fixed damage and also decrease buff duration, if you get him at level 42, he actually removes debuffs from all allies. So I think he is actually one of the first hero, if not the first hero, that can actually do both in the same skill, because we use Anti so much that, Anti has 2 skills that have that split up the effects. So the one where she can cleanse doesn't reduce buff duration, right? So I think Elf has utility as he grows in terms of level, okay, but yeah, I mean, I've yet to see that clearly, so I can't really say for sure. But at level 40, he is very unusable, and if you do get him, okay, please don't use him. He will screw up your win rate so badly. I can't even explain how disappointed I am. Okay, imagine getting stuck at 4,500 in arena for 5 hours. That is how bad it was, and I'm not even exaggerating. Like, the reason why there was no video on the day he came out is because I was stuck in what's that, Expert and Masters? Yeah, and I couldn't do anything. And yeah, here's my loss. So if you're gonna watch this video all the way to the end, I think you should, because you're gonna hear me talk about how bad he is. I did not progress at all, honestly. Okay, at most I got 1 win by luck, and it wasn't even because of him. It was because Anti was just gonna last throughout the end. Yeah, that's how it was. So his awakened skill, okay, that's the one that is really deserving to be discussed. He deals AoE damage to 5 enemies, decreased debuff duration by 4 turns, and also has a 80% chance to block their Awakening Gauge. Honestly, I haven't really seen much of that as well, because they cleanse. Everything can be cleansed so fast, right? And so it's very difficult to actually see debuffs being set in play thanks to the Purification accessory, which is so broken. So you can't really run debuffs that much. At most, you run incapacitating debuffs, like the Electrify you see on the Yonhi now, like the Sleep as well, and then that really changes the course of the battle. But if you do not do that, any other effect really doesn't feel like it's affecting much, So I think that's a problem with the current arena plays. Like, debuffs don't last and are not significant enough somehow. Okay, and furthermore, his decrease in magic attack, as I mentioned, his decrease in physical and magic attack, as I mentioned, is actually very low. It's 40%. I think Rain has like 50% or 60%. Yeah, and he's dead again. Sometimes I really want to rely on Abel to carry the Universal team, but I realize it doesn't work as well. So that's really sad. I don't know, my Abel's also kind of dying a lot because of the height accessory maybe, and my Wukong doesn't use much of his skills. So for his passive, okay, Elf's passive, he decreases all damage taken by himself by 40%. That's gonna be very good, because if you were to observe much earlier on, you'll realize that his HP stats are actually freaking high. Okay, at a level 40 stage, he has 72,000 HP. I think he can rival Rudy at level 50, and if he reaches level 50, I cannot imagine how high that HP stat would be. Okay, and imagine with that amount of HP stat and you have a maybe very high block rate for him, I think he can actually be a very good tank. Okay, and he will be eventually probably a good tank speed leader as well. Okay, so he also increases all allies 4 target damage by 40%. So this is the most interesting part, because this is the part that allows all the skills that are not covered by the fighter's soul to be buffed. Okay, basically it's like an additional insurance. Yeah, so if you were to observe my team, Judas has 1 for target that skill. I think Abel has 1 as well. Anti doesn't have. Elf has 2, and who's the last guy? Wukong has 1. So I think in total I have about 5 skills that are buffed currently. But honestly, again, if you were to observe the damage output, it doesn't really matter, because initially during the start of the battle, everyone is on Guardian Ring, so there's no damage going to be done. If it just so happens that your team uses all the 4 target attacks immediately, then you're not going to see much damage, right? Furthermore, I don't think Elf at this point at my level is going to survive all the way to the end of the battle. So yeah, he uses this skill here, which is pretty decent, I would say. Okay, I think that's the one that decreases buff duration and cleanses by right. Okay. Yeah, so as I was saying, I don't think Elf is gonna last all the way to the end, which is why I feel that even though he could be a very decent buffer, to be honest, but it's not right at this level. So he needs to be of higher level in order to have a proper, decent usage. Okay, another thing on his passive is actually that he can increase defense of all allies by 2,000. So this is actually a passive we have previously seen from Rangrid, Jack, and that flying guy, Gerard. Okay, Gerard. But the thing with Gerard and Jack is that they need offensive heroes for that passive to be triggered. Okay, and for Rangrid, you need to be on the front line with her. So this kind of limits things a bit, making Elf the first hero to really just buff defense unconditionally just by being there. Okay, but the problem of course with him is that he is universal, so sometimes it doesn't really gel too well with other teams. But I can actually say that if you do get him to level 44, that the increase in defense is very likely gonna help a lot. Not gonna lie, okay, because we will explore that in another video. Surprise, surprise, there's gonna be 2 videos for Jack in another video tomorrow. Okay, that is gonna cover why I feel that his exclusive item is actually decent. Okay, but overall, from this video, I'm sure you're like, this is a Elf interview, review, Elf review video, but I don't see much Elf. Yeah, that's the thing. You see, that's the thing. he's just very weak at level 40, and being a speed leader means he kind of gets his job done very early on. And I'm not using him as main counter even, because why should I, when Abel is just way too strong, right? So why should I use him as the counter hero? And in this match, I've actually changed over to Rudy to give it a try, because I want to see whether Rudy can indeed actually help to buff up the team and buff up even Elf's defenses. And hopefully, you know, with that, I won't die so fast. As you can see, he did take quite a bit of chunk of the magic at team, which is very intended at level 40, right? There's a lot of damage done to a magic team. So if he's able to actually last longer, I'm actually pretty certain that his damage output from that skill on the magic team is gonna be crazy. Unfortunately, he's dead as well. Dead already. Yeah, so I'm not sure if speed is even the right thing for him sometimes, because I feel that speed is actually just holding him back in terms of damage output against magic teams. Speed is you know, just for the sake of his passive, but beyond that, it doesn't really serve much purpose, especially here when I'm not even using him on counter. I think speed is really just for him to start off the battle in this particular team, because there's really no other hero that I feel would be as suitable, right, to be used as the attack leader. So he's kind of in a very difficult position right now. When you want to use him as the attack leader, your damage isn't enough, and hence won't be able to help you kill anything. And if you don't use him as a speed leader, then you can't really use him in this team. So yeah, it's kind of like, I don't know where he exactly fits in. And I think that will be the problem you will face if you do want to use him, because there are really so many better heroes out there that deserve a spot on the Universal team, on the Magic team. So yeah, it's just really difficult to use him at this point. Of course, when he reaches level 50, I don't know when, because I'm not intending to pull for him, then we can re-look at his utility again, which I feel that it will be better, but to what extent I cannot say for sure, because he hasn't been proving to me, you know, that he's actually going to be really good. Even though his skill set on paper, it looks pretty strong and useful, okay, but I really don't know at this point because of the stats, okay? So let me know what you guys think of Elf and this showcase and my explanations. Big shout out to my channel members ZMD, Phineas, Yamaki, Hibiku and Reggie Bautista for the support. Stay tuned for more videos. Thank you so much and see you!